Hello, everyone. How are you doing? Welcome to Facts and Two Cents. This is Petal. Hope you are all doing great. Happy Tuesday, everyone, wherever you are in the world. I'm having such a great day. I'm telling you, little things make me happy. And so I don't know. It's just like, It's so funny. If you live in New York, you'll understand this. If you're living outside of New York, you'll be like, what? So in New York, there are some buildings that, have laundry. Some of them don't. Mine doesn't. So in all over New York, there are laundromats all over the place. And mine is like literally less than 5 minute walk from my house. It's like literally downstairs and across the street. And so I went there. I went there last week, and normally on a specific day, you go and you get free every day of that week. You get free laundry detergent. And so last week it was so cool because I went on a day that wasn't the normal day, and they saved my laundry detergent for me. And I don't know, it was just, I was like, oh my goodness. Sometimes you don't even think people recognize you or know you or anything. You just sort of go and you say hello and stuff. And then it was just like, oh, that is so sweet. And then so today, I went there again, and it was just the same thing. It's like, oh, we have your gift for you. And it was just like, oh, they're just so sweet, and it's just so nice. And I know it's like a little silly thing. I mean, I don't need someone to give me laundry detergent, but it just was like, oh, it just made my whole day that someone just, even when you don't realize someone is paying attention or whatever, that people see you and they appreciate you, and I just felt like, oh wow, this is my laundromat, And I just walked out of there feeling like so loved. So I just gave the lady a big hug, and she's like, oh, thank you for making my day. And it was just like, sometimes it's just the simplest, littlest, silliest things. And again, I mean, I don't need, laundry detergent, but just the fact that they recognize or they just notice you, or, because sometimes it's just New York. There are a lot of people running around all the time, and people don't, you don't think sometimes people even know that you're there. And it's so nice sometimes to feel like, oh wow, they do know that I'm here, and they saved my little present for me. Even when I don't go in under a normal day, they just saved it. And so it just inspired me to, you know what, I need to do that for other people. I need to just take their example and then just do that for other people, just for no reason at all. Just let them know that they're loved and they're seen. And I was just like, oh, so that just makes my day. I don't know why. I just been walking around smiling the entire time after that. I was like, oh, I just love it when people show love, and then I feel love, and then I could give. So great for me, sometimes, because I forget sometimes. So there you go. That's my story for the day. But anyways, our faves, as you can see, same photos from yesterday, they are going to be coast to coast, apparently. Um, as we found out live on the podcast yesterday, one of our wonderful squaddies, oh, I don't remember who it was that let us know that. Because I was thinking that maybe Harry would, zoom in or something while he's in California, and then both him and Meghan are going to be going to Tyler Perry's event, the Paley Center honoring Tyler Perry in Los Angeles. And so I was thinking that's what's going to happen, but no, apparently not. And so Harry's going to be in New York, and Meghan is going to stay back. And so one of our squaddies yesterday alerted us to that fact that this is what's going to happen. So our faves are going to be on both coasts, and they're going to be amazing, and we will enjoy them. Although I still feel a little disappointed. And by the way, some of our squaddies like reprimanded me for feeling. I'm like, let me just feel what I feel, okay? I feel disappointed. I wanted to see them, together, because I haven't seen them together in a while, and I like it. And that's just me. And doesn't have to be anything. It's just that's just my preference. So please, please, please let me just feel what I feel. Thank you. And not tell me that I shouldn't feel disappointed when I feel disappointed. I mean, you know me, I'm not going to pretend I feel any other way. If that's how I feel, I'm not here to lie to anyone about how I feel about things. So just let me feel what I feel. Maybe by the time it rolls around, I'll get used to the idea. Right now, I'm not. So that's just where I am. So yeah. But anyways, I digressed. But before I go on, let me just say hi to my friends in the chat. Y'all are here, and I am just happy you're here. Khadijah's here. Hi, Khadijah. I know Lydia was here, but Lydia went back to work. So hi, Lydia at work. If you're listening, we love you. I know you're listening and the replay, so that's awesome. Hi, Karen Am, our awesome moderator is here. Karen Warner, our awesome Squatty is here. Yeah, Karen. Patricia's here, and Mia and Lakiva and Joan. Hi, guys. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And all our other friends, whoever joined. Oh, hi, Connie. Connie's here as well, hanging out with us from Switzerland. It must be so beautiful in Switzerland right now. So anyways, welcome, you guys. And so back to our faves. Anyway, so again, we learned yesterday that Harry's gonna be in New York, and also Meghan is going to be in California. Please keep your fingers crossed for me, because I applied for a press pass to this event, and so I am please keep my fingers. I'm not technically press, because I have a podcast. I'm not like technically officially pressed, but I applied for the press pass, and so hopefully I will get it. So all of my fingers and toes are crossed. So definitely say a prayer in my direction that I get a press pass to go, even though in the event you can't really take photos or video or anything like that, because they're going to be recording it, and then they're going to be posting it, I'm assuming, on their YouTube page later. So whoever you can, get the story and write the story, whatever, but I can't really take photos in it, of the main stage event. So if I get into, say, Prince Harry's event, if they give me the press pass, I can't really take photos in there. It's like, shit, bummer. But such as it is, they want to protect their property. I totally understand that, but it would be great, because I've never gotten a press pass before, and that's like one of my dreams. So there you go. Joan says, but you're not the only one that feels disappointed. Brian too. Oh, you mean Byron? I'm assuming you mean Byron. Yeah, I mean, look, by the time this rolls around, I'm sure my feelings might be different, but I have to get there. I'm not there yet. I'm not there. I'm not feeling disappointed yet. So maybe it will change. Maybe my feelings will change. Maybe they won't. So, but just let me feel what I feel, please. Connie says it's cold. We had snow 2 days ago. Oh, wow. But it must be so beautiful. I'm sure you're all bundled up, right, Connie? So I just always that's one of my dreams, to go to Switzerland when it's snowing. Oh, so beautiful there. So yeah. Let's see. You're praying for me that my feelings change. Thank you, Khadijah. I appreciate. Oh, thank you. I hope so too. Oh, you're praying for me that I get my press pass. Thank you, guys. That will be the first one. So I'm like, they should give it to me, I think. Karen says they want both of them at the title. Honest, I feel the way you do, Petal. I feel defeated. I am still holding out faith that we will see them together. They look so good. They look good together. Of course they do. They look fantastic together. And I just love them. I love when they do events together. So it's just me and others as well. But it's fine. We can work through our feelings and emotions and all of those things. We're human. Those emotions are fine. So there you go. And plus, we're not fake here. We can just share when we're happy, when we're sad, when we're disappointed. It's emotions. It is fine. We're human. We can have them. So anyway, this is what the squaddy was sharing yesterday. And again, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it is that alerted us to this yesterday. And I was on here, so I didn't have it. But let me move my little brand thing there that I can read this properly. But while we're doing that, if you have not subscribed to our channel, please go ahead and subscribe. Click the notification bell so you can know when we drop a video. Please like and share the video and help us grow the channel. It is closing in on 10,000. Very, very excited to see that. So fingers crossed we'll get there by the end of the year. Hopefully, maybe. Yeah, let's just have faith. We will. But anyways, this is the article that our wonderful Squatty alerted us to. It says Meghan Markle and Prince Harry to appear at separate events on opposite coasts next week. Prince Harry and Meghan both have planned appearances next week, albeit on separate coasts. The Duke of Sussex 40 will join Andrew Ross Sorkin for a conversation at the New York Times Dealable Conference on Wednesday, December 4th in New York City, according to a spokesperson. Meanwhile, in Los Angeles, the Duchess of Sussex 43 will expect. Why do they always put their ages? It's always amazing to me that they do that. The Duchess of Sussex 43 is expected to attend the 2024 Paley Honors Fall Gala at the same day, where she'll help honor Tyler Perry with the Paley Honors Award, which is the Paley Center for Media's highest honor. While both Harry and Meghan were on the hosting committee for their friend Perry, only Meghan will attend the event. And, totally cool. So we look forward to seeing Meghan there. Look forward to seeing Tyler. I wouldn't be surprised if there's a little a recording of something from Harry, like he does a little video or something to wish Tyler Perry good luck, whatever, congratulations, whatever. I wouldn't be surprised. So, but again, they were both on the hosting committee, and so, but again, when you think, and we're going to look at this in a minute about all of Harry's court cases and all of that stuff that is so expensive, I could totally understand why they just did this. Because, Harry is working. This is a job. This is not just Harry going off to New York to do something for free. These events and stuff, they pay, and they pay well. And so, hey, Harry is a working dude working to support his family with his Harry's like the Amon family right now with like 1 million jobs. And so he is working to support his family. And with these court cases and all of this stuff, they don't pay for themselves. Harry has to come up with this money. And so I totally see why he would do this, because again, these kind of events, this is a speaking event that is a paid thing. They don't just turn up to these. You don't get Serena Williams and all of these people to turn up to these things for free. This is paid. And so Harry is gonna be in New York working. And, working because, again, they have to pay for all the stuff, their home, their taxes, their foundation, their security, and all of that stuff. Hey, Harry's working to take care of his family. So, again, kudos to him. I look forward, and again, hopefully, fingers and toes crossed, that I will get in and be able to see it and, see his event, which I'm sure is going to be sold out. And some of the events, just so some of the events will be live streamed, and some of it they're gonna record it and then put it on, I guess, their YouTube channel or something after. So we will see. Yes, Claudia. Claudia's like, Harry also has to pay security. Exactly. So there's a lot that goes into them, and in order to pay for all that stuff, again, they don't pay for themselves, and they don't make, Harry and Meghan aren't made out of money. So they have to work. They have to go out there and do their work. And so it's, even though I'm disappointed, I totally understand. Like, look, dude has to take care of his family, and he has to, be out there. He's a working man, is what he wanted. And, look at what he's done so far since September. He's been amazing. So yeah, right up his alley. And it just keeps building his profile and building his profile as, the global ambassador leader that he is, the global statesman that the other one wants to be and never could be. Yes, that's me being petty. I am that too. Let me be. Anyway, so our faves are going to be on both coasts. They're going to have it all covered. And then the world can see, like, wow, these two are independently so amazing, no matter if they're together or they're apart. So awesome. We look forward to seeing them next week on December 4th. And talk about Harry needing to work because his court cases aren't paying for themselves. PA Media, a press association in the UK, they have some updates on Prince Harry's court case. This time, this is the one against the Mail, that disgusting Daily Mail, and their, accusations of phone hacking, bugging people's cars and homes, and blagging people, i.e., if you don't know what that is like pretending to be, say, a patient or a patient's doctor, whatever, and calling into a hospital or whatever care facility, pretending to be the person and getting that person's private medical information. Or if they, sometimes they do it for phone companies or banks or whatever, to get that person's private information and then post it all over their tabloids. And so, of course, the Mail is like, we've never hacked anyone before. We are innocent. And it's like, no, you're not. So anyways, so Pierre said the latest hearing in the Duke of Sussex High Court claim against the publisher of the Daily Mail is set to begin on Tuesday, i.e., today. So that's going on right now. The hearing before Justice Nickling is expected to begin Tuesday and is due to last 2 days. It is expected to deal with several preliminary issues in the claims, with no findings yet made in respect of the allegations. The hearing is due to begin, well, it's already going on, I guess, at 10:30 a.m. at the Royal Courts of Justice. So that is some preliminary stuff going on for Harry's court case against the Mail, which is very separate, as we know, from his court case against the Sun, which they're going to be doing in January 15th or something like that. It's going to be going for 8 weeks. It's going to be going on during the Invictus game. So poor Harry, his brain is probably going to be fried dealing with both things. It's like, shoosh, dude, I don't know how you do it, but yeah. So, but as of today, this preliminary stuff is going on, and this is about the Daily Mail. And so a little bit more about it from Reuters. It says Prince Harry and other high-profile British figures' privacy lawsuit against the Daily Mail's newspaper, against the Daily Mail's newspaper's publisher, will go on trial early 2026. So goodness, you have a whole other year to wait for this one. London High Court heard with parties' legal costs set to exceed £38 million or $47.8 million. This is ridiculous. This is so incredibly ridiculous. That's why I'm like, of course, Harry doesn't have to pay 47 million because there's a whole group of them that's suing. So I guess they're all participating in the paying for all of this stuff. But still, and it's just like, why is this costing so much? Regular people can never afford to sue these newspapers if this is what is allowed to happen. I don't understand why this is 38 million pounds for a court case that has not even started. That is ridiculous. Even at the end, it shouldn't cost this much. And it goes on to say Prince Harry and the other high-profile British figures' privacy lawsuit against the Daily Mail newspaper's publisher will go on trial early 2026. London High Court heard on Tuesday with parties' legal costs. We just read that. Harry, the youngest son of King Charles, is one of 7 claimants suing Associated Newspaper over allegations of voicemail interception, commonly known as phone hacking, and other serious privacy breaches dating back 30 years. Harry and other claimants' lawsuit, which were filed in 2022, marked the first time Associated had been dragged into the phone hacking scandal, which emerged more than a decade ago and prompted a public inquiry into the ethics of the press and several criminal trials. It also was the thing that prompted Leveson Part 1. There was supposed to be a Leveson Part 2, but so far, the Tory government and now the Labour government that is in power both have nixed it. Why? Because they're all in bed with the tabloids who Harry is suing. And one of the things that's come out of this, Harry's lawyer was a part of the trial, the Leveson trial. He was one of the attorneys there. And he knows, and he knew from then, that there are legal documents that can incriminate the Daily Mail because of, whatever happened during Leveson. He knew those documents existed, even though the Mail was like, oh, we never did anything. But because of privacy reason, it was barred from being used as evidence. Well, since the last hearing, when the Daily Mail was trying to get the whole thing kicked out, actually, I'm going to read this because this is so important and it really helps Harry's case, because when the Daily Mail was trying to get it kicked out, the judge said, no, this can actually go forward. We're not going to kick it out. Because since that time, it says, in March this year, government ministers ruled that confidential documents from the Leveson inquiry relating to the Daily Mail records of payment to private investigators could be disclosed in the Duke's claim after changing restrictions on the document to, put in place during the inquiry. So without these government ministers stepping in, Harry couldn't use those documents that really can put the Daily Mail, squash the Daily Mail. They couldn't use it because, it's private information. And even though David Sherborne, who was part of Leveson, knew that they were there, they couldn't use it for that. So since the last hearing and the judge kicked out the Daily Mail's claim of wanting to throw the case out, those government officials have come and opened it up and said, yes, Harry can use it. And so it is wonderful. So Harry, at least they have that to hold on to. But this is not going to happen until their case is not going to be until early 2026. So the Sun case is this year. I'm sorry, the Sun case is January 2025, not this year. The Sun case is January 2025. That's coming up. And then the Daily Mail is early 2026. So it's like, oh, I can't imagine. Poor Meghan is like, oh my goodness, can we just be done with this? Please have another year to deal with the madness of these press and these court cases. But it's Harry's life's work, and this is what he's doing. And so, look, I support Harry all the way. I mean, again, just looking at these crazy numbers for how much this stuff costs. Honestly, I would not be upset at Harry if at some point, if they offer him something that he can live with, that if he's like, okay, you know what? Okay, I take the money. I couldn't be mad at him, because who could afford this crap? You know what I mean? You are like, he has his family to take care of, his kids to take care of, his mortgage and all of this stuff and security and stuff. This is really, I understand why Hugh Grant and those people settle, because you're going to be wiped out. And even if you win the case, the court fees and the lawyer fees and everything, and then you have to pay some fees even from your opponent who lost, is so high that it can literally wipe you out. And so it is crazy. It is really, really crazy. I mean, it's it's unbelievable that they allow this. Normal people can never, ever sue. And who could afford this stuff? So, and I feel like this is part of the game to dissuade anyone who has any hopes of ever suing these newspapers, because again, they can afford it because they make millions, but regular folks can't. So anyway, so this is an update from Prince Harry. Again, the court case against the Sun is coming up in January, whatever date, 13, whatever date it is. It's going to be going for 8 weeks in January 2025, 25th, in next month. Well, in a few days, it'll be next month, but it's like in 2 months. And then this court case against the Daily Mail is going to be coming up early 2026. So if they don't settle before then. So there you go. So that's what, yes, Khadijah, yes, 2 different trials, 2 different companies. One is the Daily Mail, which is 2026, and one is the Sun, which is 2025 in a couple months. So yes, the 2 different court cases, even though they almost did the exact same thing to Harry. That's what he's suing them both. So very, very, I mean, poor Prince Harry. Oh, Anyway, what else is going on away from that? Relax, back to sunny California and Megan. One of the things I shared on the last episode was I loved how there are a couple of accounts on X and stuff that really they were really happy that Megan's took the time to spend time with these women, the Afghan women, as part of the Welcome Project, and so I found one of them, but as I was going through a couple of days ago, I found a couple more people from the Afghan community who mentioned it. And so Gul, and I'm probably going to pronounce this really bad, Gulshera Yaftali, she is with Women's Aid Afghan. She posted this, Meghan Markle hosts a heartfelt dinner for Afghanistan women resettling in the U.S. through Archwell's Welcome Project. The organization has evacuated and resettled over 2,000 Afghanistan women leaders, aligning its mission with Archwell's effort to create long-term support systems. And so it's really great to see. And again, as you can see, she is the head of the Afghan Women's Aid Foundation in the Netherlands. She's not even in the U.S. So it's great, that these women are seeing this and are, highlighting it and showing it up. And it's just like, it's really cool. So thank you, Women's Aid Afghanistan. And Mina's List, who is the organization that teamed up with Archwell, the one that helped resettle and got the women evacuated from Afghanistan with the help of Archwell. Archwell donated funds and etc. to help in that as well. So, and now obviously they are now bonded and helping and, building community with these women. And of course, again, the Welcome Projects, there are 11 chapters around the country, and this is the one in Southern California. So very cool. Thank you, Gulshera Yaftali. And also Habib Khan, he is the founder of Afghan Peace Watch, and he is a journalist, formerly of as you can see there, formerly of the Wall Street Journal. He posted this. He says, "Glad to see Meghan Markle hosting Afghan women for a holiday dinner. The women of Afghanistan need strong global allies like her in their fight against the Taliban's misogynist regime." And so, again, what's going on in Afghanistan is really cruel, especially for women who, again, it's sort of but it has reverted back to how it was, where girls and women are not allowed to go to school. Some of them can't leave the house without a male companion. It's crazy. They're very much repressed and back to where it was. It's like, and all of these women who had all of these great careers, whether it's peace activists or lawyers, doctors, teachers, journalists, whatever, just saw all of the advances that they made just sort of ripped away, and now they basically had to run away from their country and resettled in the US and other places and completely start over. And so that's why this is so important. And it's so good. Thank you, Habib Khan, for posting this. So yeah. And what else? And I posted this yesterday, but just the post that they had on X, but it didn't post the article. It says Afghanistan International English, Meghan Markle, and this is what they said, Meghan Markle, the British King's daughter-in-law. Every time I see that, I laugh. It just is so hilarious how they put that. The British King's daughter-in-law hosts a number of Afghan women in California for a second year in a row. It says, Meghan Markle, the British King's daughter, hosted, as we just read, the program included dinner and poetry readings and was held as part of the Welcome Project to support Afghan women living in the United States. And a little bit about Archwell and especially Mina's List and what they do. It says the program is organized by Archwell Foundation and Mina's List. Since 2014, Mina's List has been working with women activists and political leaders in Afghanistan to promote gender equality. And in 2021, it helped evacuate and resettle more than 2,000 Afghan women and families. This visit and the efforts of Afghan women activists abroad indicate that the deterioration of the situation of women and the human rights crisis inside of Afghanistan. Women and girls in Afghanistan are subject to the Taliban's most severe restrictions and have been deprived of the right to education, work, and social and political activities. Human rights organizations have accused the Taliban of widespread human rights violation and says the Taliban has established gender apartheid, which is what's going on there right now. So, yeah, and it's just great to see again these different organizations really recognizing the amazing work that Archewell and Minos List are doing to help these women. And yeah, we'll see in the future what they'll be doing. It'll be really interesting and really incredible to see what they do in the future. So kudos to them. So yeah, very, very, very cool. But I always love how they put I don't know, just because I laugh when I see it. It's hilarious to me. It's like the British king's daughter, the British king's daughter-in-law. So yeah, but yeah, let's see what else is happening. I saw this article a few days ago and I kept forgetting about it. But Tim Matson is a director and actor. I think he's probably also a producer as well. But he way in 2011, actually, as I had to look it up, 2011, he directed Megan on an episode of Suits, and that was obviously actually even before she was married to her first husband. And so he met her there, and this is what he had to say as the director of Suits. He says, on directing Meghan Markle on Suits, and this is what he said. He says, she was so great. She was a lovely actress and woman. I didn't get to know her very well because as a director, you're all over the place. There are 100 million things you're doing, but she was always prepared, very good on the set, and very nice to everyone, as all the actors are on that set. It was really a treat. As I recall, she was engaged to someone at the time, not Prince Harry, but she was just lovely. And again, this shouldn't surprise any squatty. We know this. Anyone who, has worked with Meghan, again, have the same things to say about her. And so it just, this is all hat, because we know this. And again, it's really sad that those in the UK have created this drama around Meghan that no one else who, other than the lie from the Hollywood Reporter who basically ripped off British press nonsense to create a lying article. No one who's worked with Meghan has anything but great things to say about her, because she is who she is and she hasn't changed, and so it's really wild. But thank you, Tim Matson, for, voicing. And again, this was from back in 2011, way before Meghan even married her first husband. So way before any of royalty. And this is what he had to say about her, working with her, and how great she was on the set. So yeah, it's incredible. And speaking of, I remember that episode I did about when Tom Sykes of the Daily Beast wrote this ridiculous article attacking Meghan, who, after the Hollywood Reporter put out their bogus article, Meghan allowed her staff, past and present, to speak to Us Magazine and basically refuted all of the Hollywood Reporter's lies. And what happened after that is the Daily Beast Tom Sykes put out this lying article just attacking Meghan, calling her all of these such horrendous names, and I don't even want to repeat some of that, but in that disgusting article that he wrote, really abusive, he wrote about Meghan and this florist, and Meghan screaming at this florist and for 30 minutes, and the florist is like, oh, I will never work with her again, and all of that stuff. So and I did it during, when my dad had passed away, and then I dropped this episode right in the middle of it, and I didn't get a chance to go back because a lot was going on in my head, and I just needed, so I finally, one of the things I, planned to do was definitely contact Tom Sykes about his claims, because I did a whole episode refuting everything he said in that article, about, especially about the flowers and about Meghan screaming. And I did a whole investigation about it, and about each of the florists and all of the comments they made, all of the interviews that they gave, their personal posts about Meghan's about their experience working with Meghan and Harry for their wedding and all of that stuff. And so I finally contacted Tom Sykes about it. And I was like, look, can you explain why their lived experience is very different from your article? You know, like, did you do due diligence? Did you research whatever your source told you? Did you do research to find out the truth? His basic response is, thank you for your interest in this, but I never give out source information about my source. And so I responded back. I was like, look, I'm not asking you for information about your source. I want to know if, from what your source told you, did you do your research? Did you go back and find out if what that source told you was true? Because again, it's public information from the research that I did, the investigation I did, it is very different. It's actually the absolute opposite of what your article says. So can you respond? And I also CC'd the Daily Beast, because I wanted the editor at the Daily Beast to have this information as well. He didn't include them when he responded to me, but I included them in both of my emails, because I'm like, this shouldn't stand. This is false information that is left to stand out there like it's true. And it is absolutely damaging information of someone's character. So I await whatever he said, what his response will be. Because again, from the publicly available information, it is quite contrary to what he says. And again, with all the other stuff he wrote, other questions I had, I'm like, what is the evidence? Your source provided no evidence. You provided no evidence. His point was, I've been in this business for 30 years. And I'm like, okay, as somebody who's been in the business for 30 years, you should know the importance of evidence, the importance of examples of whatever the claim is. So can you respond? So I await whatever the response is from him. But we will see. But again, I'm not going to drop this, because I'm like, too many times reporters like this get away with just printing things with no backup, especially their quote unquote royal sources, with no evidence, and people should just take their word for it, when if you go and do some research, it's very, very contrary to what they're saying. So we'll see. And if I don't hear from him, I will continue to contact the Daily Beast until I hear what, it's like, somebody needs to address this, because this is false information. So anyway, so that's it on that. We'll see. I'll keep you updated if I hear from him again. So anyways, moving on. It's so funny when the times people drop this kind of nonsense. Italian trader played polo against Prince William while under U.S. sanctions. So apparently this guy who was under U.S. sanction ended up playing polo against Prince William at a charity match. And this is a little bit of the article. The U.S. Treasury placed Alessandro Bozino on its sanction list in January 2021, describing him as a core facilitator of a network of individuals and companies attempting to evade U.S. sanctions against the PVSA, Venezuela's state-owned oil company. The U.S. regards President Nicolas Maduro government as illegitimate owing to election rigging allegations. Yeah, right. However, even after his U.S. sanctions listing, Bozzoni continued running what he called an important organization in English polo, acting as a patron of two professional teams. He played against Prince William, now Prince of Wales, in a charity polo in July of 2022. And of course, there's more to this article, but at the end it's obvious. It says both Clarence House and Prince William's official residence at the Hurlington Polo Association and the Hurlington Polo Association, the sports UK governing body, declined to comment. So in a nutshell, this dude they claimed was, trying to buy oil, whatever, from Venezuela. And the United States put a sanction on Venezuela. And so whenever the United States put a sanction on a country or an individual, they bar any Americans or any of their partner nations, from having anything to do with that country. So people in the UK, whatever, who are allies of the US, will not deal with Venezuela because the US put a sanction on them. So Italy, I guess, is part of the Allies, so they aren't supposed to, trade or do anything with Venezuela, except in a lot of European countries, just because the United States put a sanction on someone, their laws are very different, that it may not exactly be breaking the law, maybe in America, but it may not. So this is what this guy is like, look, I'm not even, I didn't do anything. I'm not even working with the company that they claim did the trading with Venezuela and all of that stuff. In a nutshell, what this whole thing is, the United States government wants to control the oil in Venezuela. President Nicolas Maduro, whatever he's like, no, you're not going to control it. And they're claiming because, they recently had an election that Nicolas Maduro is, there was illegitimate because it was election rigging and all of that stuff. And you're like, who is the United States government to be condemning anybody about rigging election when, again, they're the ones that are going in and try to upend people's countries? No credibility at all, but they have a problem because, again, the whole thing with America is they're trying to control the oil in Venezuela, and Maduro is saying no. And so that's the whole thing. And so they're upset because this dude is flouting the sanctions. Anyway, why is this important? This is stuff that happened in 2022. Nobody cared then, nobody cares now, but why is this important of some polo dude? This is why it's important. This is why they're pulling this up now, because again, with the press, anything that is negative, even though it has nothing to do with our faves and it has something to do with William, but they will try to connect it in some way. And this is why, like, who cares about some polo dude trading oil in with Venezuela? Who cares? Nobody. But anything to attach. And this is why. And it's just like, so don't be surprised when you hear Prince Harry's brother is trading. Unbelievable. And again, this whole thing is nonsense. Again, it's just the US trying to control another country's resources, and they can't, so they start throwing their toys out of a pram. That's what that is, in a nutshell. Anyway, moving on. Finally, I love this. This is a journalist from Canada. She was part of when Prince Harry went to Vancouver the last time, and so she was part of when he went to the Armory with the kids, and that is her there. I think she did a speech and all of that as part of this whole thing, I think. But she posted this, and she has been all up into the Invictus Games. She says, what an honor to be part of something as special as Invictus Games 25. Thank you, Missy 604, for the photos from Monday's school program launch at Seaford Armory. This program helps teach adaptive sports and the role it plays in rehabilitation programs of ill, wounded, or injured persons. Adaptive sports competition, like the Invictus Games, help current serving members as well as veterans in overcoming their physical or mental illness or injury. You can be a part of this global movement and support general healing. And, she gave information, tickets for the opening ceremony and closing ceremony and all of that stuff. And now on, etc., etc. And the games are going to be obviously from February 8th to the 16th. So yeah, it's just and it's funny because she is so now in raptures, and again you can see she is at the bottom, she is a part of the media in Canada, and she has now been so inspired. If you look at the if you look at the far page of her reading, what is she reading? Spare. That is Spare she's reading, and she's especially reading the part there where it speaks about, when he speaks about the first Invictus Games and how emotional it was. And, he felt like he did the worst speech ever, even though Prince Charles didn't give him a lecture and he was grateful that Prince Charles didn't actually tell him how bad he was. At least he thought it was bad. And so, yeah, so she's like, gulp. And but more, it was more, as she said, it was more about just the emotions of reading about the first Invictus Games. But I'm telling you, people, and then under her post, everybody's like, yeah, that's the best book. You're gonna enjoy it. You're gonna love it. It's the best memoir. People are like, yeah, I've never read a memoir before, and this memoir was amazing. And so I'm telling you, Spare has brought so many people who normally are not big readers, but they're like, yeah, we gotta do something. So yeah, very, very cool. So anyway, I'm gonna jump in the chat. That's all I got. And jump in the chat for a few minutes before we end. Cookies and Cream says, thank you, Petal, for contacting Tom Sykes. We all need to contact the Daily Beast to complain. We all need to go after the Daily Beast advertisers. We can make a difference if we all stick together. Absolutely. Absolutely. And not just the Daily Beast, but the others, when they put absolutely just lies out there, and it's just left there, and other news outlets, they just pick up the lies. They don't do their due diligence at all in just outing it, because if they did, their colleagues wouldn't keep doing it. But they just pick it up and, oh wow, it'll give us a lot of clicks, let's do it, and then they destroy people's lives and they destroy their character for a few clicks. And it is despicable that they're allowed to get away with stuff like that. Joy says the Hollywood Reporter should be ashamed of itself for promoting. Yes, they should be. They should. I mean, again, the Hollywood Reporter is not there's not what people, they was like, oh, it's a Hollywood Bible. It's not that anymore. So yeah, it's become this basically trashy newspaper. And especially what they did to Meghan, it's like, I mean, I blocked them, so yeah, I don't even do anything with them anymore. So yeah. Joy says they're trying to trash the polo player. Yeah, they're trying to, but again, why would they bring that out now? Why? Because Polo from Harry and Meghan is coming out. So yeah, it just yeah. Let's see. Kanita says they need to be fact checked. Yes, they do. So if all of us go ahead and everyone who's listening, definitely you see article, fact check it and bring it up and post it and contact them. It's like, challenge them. And they're going to give you stuff like, oh, well, I've been doing this for how many? And it's like, dude, well, you should know better then. Print the facts. If you want me to believe you, if you want me to think you're credible, then you need to be factual. So, yeah. Terry says, well, don't think Tom Sykes is going to respond. They all hate to be called out on their lies. They do. I don't think he is either. That's why I CC'd the Daily Beast, the editorial department. I CC'd them on both of my emails so that, they are also in on it, and they are also in on the questions that I've asked and the things that I've challenged them on. So, yeah. That's why I CC them. I don't think he's gonna respond. He's gonna respond to my second email at all. So we will see. I mean, I hope he does, and hope he absolutely, hopefully. And I sent him a link of the video that I did, the podcast that I did. I sent him a link of the investigation I did. So hopefully he's going back and rechecking, which is what he needs to do. So yeah. Let's see. Karen says, maybe Katie's going to do a cosplay and do a royal engagement meeting with Afghan women in the UK to add to her list of engagement totals. Don't be shocked at anything that comes out. Don't be shocked. I wouldn't be. So, yeah. Kanisha said that person is crazy to put the British king's daughter-in-law just so Charles could receive credit. Well, again, I'm sure he's the person, the journalist who write that is not even thinking that way. But yeah, it's just like, yeah, he should get credit for nothing. Absolutely, he got credit for nothing. But yeah, it is funny that they put the British king's daughter-in-law. So let's see. Khadija says the money doesn't matter to Harry. It's about taking these crooks to trial to receive some of the justice at all costs. I totally agree with that it's not about money for Harry, but unfortunately, just the fact that he is a part of this court case and he is suing them, it costs money. it costs a lot of money, as I just showed, like 38 million pounds. He has to be a part of, I mean, yes, he's doing it a part of a group, but some of that is going to be on him to pay. And even, again, he has a home, he has a family, he has, security to pay for, he has all kinds of stuff to pay for, his foundation and all of those things. Money isn't growing on trees. And, again, add that to your daily cost of living, it's a lot. So yeah, it's, even though it's not money for him, it's not about the money for him, he still have to come up with a lot of money to pay his part of that court case. It's just crazy. These lawyers are making a lot. They are making a killing on these cases. I mean, they are rolling in the dough. And so yeah, I'm like, at this point, it's just like, oh, Harry, do what's best for you, man. But it's scary, the amount of money that he could be out if, God forbid, he loses. Oy. I don't even want to think that, but it is it's a reality that can happen. So yeah, we'll see. I mean, please continue to pray. He damn sure, Harry, needs all the prayers that he can get. So yeah. Joy says, this is how the UK media reports. Friend, unnamed sources, etc. No facts. And they have been allowed to get away with this type of reporting. Exactly. And it's time for them to not get away with this type of reporting. Somebody who claimed to be a journalist for 30 years should not be getting away with writing this stuff like this unnamed source said, with no evidence at all, which clearly he did not research. He clearly did not do the due diligence. So yeah, it's very sickening that that's been allowed to go on for this long. Joy says, I don't think Harry would put his and Meghan finances in danger. Look, they know how, they are grown people, so I'm sure they know how to separate their stuff from what is going on in, with his court cases. But again, even with that, it still costs a lot of money, unfortunately. So yeah. Karen says, I am also going to be sending emails to some of the shows in Canada that talk trash and lies about Harry and Princess Meghan for the benefit of Charles and Kate. They are biased. It's sad. Yeah, very, very, very biased. And yes, it's very sad. And yeah, whatever you can do to break that and to let them know, like, look, there are people out here who are willing to challenge you and call you to account for the things you're saying here, because it's absolutely not true and it's not based in any kind of fact at all. So yeah, it's unacceptable. So Joy says the UK press want to scare people into not suing them, and a lot of people can't. Yeah, hello, who could afford 30 million pounds? I mean, it's exactly what they're doing. They're scaring people into not suing them, and then so that they can post anything about people, and they know people can't really afford it, especially there's a cost of living crisis going on for most people. They can't afford any of this stuff, so they can get away with saying anything about people and be completely comfortable that they will not be sued. And this is the thing that needs to change. These laws need to change. And, some people were thinking that Keir Starmer, as the Labour Prime Minister, would do something. But as we've talked about, way long before Keir Starmer became Prime Minister, when we saw Keir Starmer at Rupert Murdoch's summer party, along with his other stooges from the tabloids, we knew back then Keir Starmer was completely in bed with Rupert Murdoch, to the point where he now claims that he would be okay to write articles for The Sun. So yeah, Keir Starmer is not going to be doing anything to change this. He is completely in bed with the tabloids. So I'm telling you, the UK could have had Jeremy Corbyn. They still can. Jeremy Corbyn can still, Jeremy Corbyn needs to be the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So yeah, but that's just me. I'm not in the UK. So there you go. Somebody tried to put me in my place, like, you shouldn't talk about things like that because you don't live in the UK. I was like, oh, sorry. That's, valid point. I should watch what I say, because not everybody in the UK is like that. But I don't have to live in the UK to see that there's just some things that is like, look, y'all need to work on. Y'all need to just be a little bit more aggressive in terms of whether it's protesting or demanding change or whatever. So, but, again, but they had a good point. So maybe I need to mind my business in some of these things. So anyways, I think that's it, guys. I have to jet off. Have a fantastic day. I will chat with you tomorrow. Yeah, thank you to our awesome moderators. I know Lydia is off working. Wait, did I say Church Nelly? Wait, Church Nelly, are you here? Oh, she is here. Hi, Church Nelly. I just realized, like, I scanned something and I thought I vaguely saw her name. So, hi, Church Nelly, who is here. Karen M, Cookies and Cream, Black Queen. Thank you guys so much for you're amazing, keeping the space safe. And thank you so much to our awesome 2 Cents crew who support the channel financially every month. And to those of you who support in the chat, who share, like, comment. Thank you for all the support that you've given to the channel. I appreciate it so very much. So have a great day, everyone. I love you all, and I will chat with you tomorrow. I love ya tomorrow. Don't mind my crazy singing.